Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to another day reading with Mimi on Mornings with Mimi. And here we are on my couch again. And yesterday, as I was visiting my daughter, she handed me this little book to read, and it's something that she wanted to hold on to because when she was a little girl, we had a house fire and we lost everything in that fire. She would have lost all of her books and toys and all of the clothes, everything. But anyways, one little girl at the school that she went to gave her this little book, and that, I guess, was held very dear to her heart. So she's kept this book for many, many years, and she thought maybe I would like to read it. I was thrilled. This isn't the book about Cinderella, but Cinderella is telling a story, and it's about shearing. So I thought it would be a very good book to read. So let's jump right in and read the story and see how Cinderella shears. It's called Sweet Success. All finished, said Cinderella, holding up a drawing of a cake for her mice friends to see. Pretty, Cinderella, admired Jack. Pretty, echoed Gus, who was busy piling up berries. I'm going to bake a cake like this for the festival tomorrow, Cinderella told them. I've already measured and put aside all the ingredients. Looks like it's going to be a very large cake. Every year, the village held a festival to celebrate the king's birthday. The most popular event was His Royal Highness's most supremely special birthday cake contest. The judge was none other than the king himself. I see, so he gets to taste all the different cakes that are being made. Mistress Muffin usually wins, Cinderella told Jack. But Cinderella! A voice interrupted from downstairs. Where is our lunch? Coming, stepmother, Cinderella called. She stuffed the drawing in her apron pocket and dashed downstairs. In the kitchen, Cinderella quickly made lunch. Here, Jack and Gus, she said, handing them a small piece of cheese. And we know mice love cheese. Share this with your friends. She picked up a tray and hurried through the door to the dining room. What took you so long? Asked her stepmother. Her eyes fell on the paper in Cinderella's pocket. She leaned forward and she snatched it. What have we here? It's an idea I had for a cake, Cinderella explained, for the festival. Cinderella's stepmother gave her a mean little smile. You may have permission to make a cake after you completely clean the house from top to bottom and after my daughters have baked their own prize-winning creations, her stepmother finished. With a wink, she passed Cinderella's sketch to Anastasia and Drusilla. Boy, that stepmother, she doesn't seem to be very nice now, does she? Cinderella scrubbed and swept and polished and dusted. Finally, she finished. I barely have time to bake my cake. It's a good thing I've already put aside all the ingredients." Just then, two voices screeched from the kitchen, "Cinderella!" Oh dear, I wonder what they want now. "Oh my!" Cinderella exclaimed as she entered the kitchen. "She made me ruin my cake!" shouted both sisters at once. Two cakes were on the table. One was as flat as a pancake. One was burnt to a crisp. "Oh, let's clean up this mess, and you can start again," said Cinderella kindly. She began to sweep. Oh, look, they're throwing cake batter everywhere. What a mess. "I'm not cleaning," said Anastasia. She grabbed the measuring cups from her sister and slipped some on some eggs. Crash! Down on her humble bumble she went. "Well, I'm not cleaning either," shouted Drusilla. She snatched a mixing bowl and slipped on some spilled sugar. Smash! "Look what you've done!" both sisters shouted at each other. Oh my goodness, they're really making a big mess in the kitchen. I don't think that's really how we cook, is it, boys and girls? Cinderella shook her head. The sacks were half empty. Many eggs were broken. There weren't enough ingredients left to make another big cake. Cinderella paused. The ingredients she'd put aside were hidden away under the tablecloth. She could share them with her stepsisters, but then she would not have enough to make a big cake of her own. Oh dear. I wonder what they're going to do. Now Cinderella's thinking, what would a princess do? "I know," Cinderella said softly. "You can have some of my ingredients and make one large cake together." Greedily, the sisters pounced on them. They mixed and stirred and poured, threw everything into a pan, and soon they had a cake. Well, it was sort of a cake. "It's gorgeous," bragged Anastasia. "It's prize-winning," said Drusilla. "It's done," whispered Jack to Gus. The stepsisters left, leaving Cinderella to clean up the mess once again. She sighed as she saw how few ingredients were left. Just then, Gus got her attention. "Here, Cinderella." "For you," they called. She looked down and saw little piles of berries, nuts, flowers, and other things. "You share with us," Gus began. "And we share with you," finished Jack. "Oh, how sweet," said Cinderella. "Thank you." Cinderella stirred nuts and berries into the honey-sweetened mixture and baked it. Then she decorated her cake with beautiful flowers. "It's not what I planned," she thought, "but it's special because my friends shared their food with me to help make it." The next morning, the stepsisters rushed into the kitchen arguing. "I'll carry it in, Anastasia." "No, I'll carry it." They tugged, they yanked, they pushed and pulled. And what do you think happened? Uh-oh. Splat! "Now we'll never win," wailed Drusilla. "It's all your fault," screamed Anastasia. The sisters glared at each other above the ruined cake. There it is, flat on the floor. You can share my cake, Cinderella offered. We can all enter it together. The stepsisters glanced down at their noses at the small cake. That puny pile of crumbs, sniffed Anastasia. Drusilla folded her arms. I'd rather not go at all. So Cinderella went to the festival with only her animal friends for company. Cinderella placed her cake on the long table. Oh dear, she thought. My cake does look small compared to the others. Just then, trumpets sounded. The judging was about to begin. Slowly the king made his way down the line of cakes. He took a bite of each one. My goodness, I think his tummy would be full after tasting all those cakes. When the king tasted Cinderella's cake, he smiled. Ooh, and then he took a second bite. He whispered to the Duke. Next, he took a bite of the big castle-shaped cake made by Mistress Muffin. Oh, and that's the one that Cinderella said usually wins the cake contest. The king continued taking bites of the two cakes, first Cinderella's, then Mistress Muffin's. Everyone at the festival wondered which cake the cake would choose. Which one do you think he's going to choose? The winner of the Royal Highness's most supremely special birthday cake contest is Mistress Muffin, announced the Duke. But Cinderella, protested Jack. Your cake was the best. Now, said Cinderella, the king has chosen well. Then the trumpet sounded once again. But, called the Duke, for a cake as natural and fresh as the forest, whose delectable, delicious distinction has delighted the royal taste buds. That's a mouthful to say. A special prize goes to Cinderella. Cinderella brought cake home for all her friends to share. That night, they all gathered around, and Cinderella, Jack, and Gus shared the story of their sweet success. The end. They're all sitting around having a little nibble of the cake. Well, boys and girls, that was a wonderful story about sharing. Even though there are people out there who don't like to share, which two of them were her stepsisters, but Cinderella still has so much love in her heart that no matter how mean her stepsisters are to her, she wanted to share the ingredients in order to make another cake. So boys and girls, that's a very important lesson. Even though there's going to be some children that you may meet that might not be so nice to you, but it's very important that you be nice to them. And then sometimes when we're nice to other people, that can change something in the other person. They may really like seeing that you're nice to them, and it can cause them to be nice back to you. You just never know what a little love can do. Isn't that right, boys and girls? So the next time somebody might be not so nice to you, maybe you could just say something nice back to them, or do something nice for them in the at school. hold the door open for them, get their lunch bucket for them, help them with their putting their coat or boots on, whatever it might be. But just share a little love around, and share maybe even your pencil crayons or your markers. Whatever you could do to bring a little happiness to somebody else is the right thing to do. So will you say goodbye for now, boys and girls, until we see each other again with another wonderful story. Have a wonderful rest of your day, even though here it says it's going to freeze and rain. I'm tucked inside on my comfy couch, and that's where I plan on staying. We'll say bye-bye now. Have a great day.